that I never remembered as a taxpayer voting for, okay? And I thought to myself, how can that happen? How can it happen that we have this new ball field out here where they never went to the taxpayers for the money?
Storage shed?
Okay, well, let me, John, then it just happened to us, okay, with the storage shed, okay? The board voted $30,000, and I don't want to rehash this, but this to me is
It hurts
is the problem that we have with
It
this
feeds the public perception,
Well, it's like, we don't
which
know.
hurts the board.
It's like you have the administration doing things that the board has no idea it's doing. Now, when we questioned it, we said, you know, we were told that they asked for the money the way they should. They followed the appropriate channels. I have no reason to doubt that. But the fact of the matter is, the board said everybody on this board thought we spent $30,000 for a building, where in fact we spent upwards of $90,000 on the building. That, to me, is like, how can that happen? And I'm sitting on this board,
Right.
and I said to myself, how can this happen? When I wasn't on the board, I was questioning it, and now I am on the board, and it's still happening. And it's like, what's different? Nothing. I mean, I'm here. That's one of the reasons why I came on the board, is to make sure that that type of stuff didn't happen, and it's still going on. But anyway, that has nothing to do. Again,
Well, yes, it does have something to do with it, because it's about the board, and it also ties back to fiscal management. So it has everything to do about it, because the black eye is going to be, even though this went into play before I got here, I'm now here, and they're seeing it go up, so I'm gonna get a little bit of a black eye on this. So aren't you.
right.
And so when we talk later on about some of these things, best way to handle that is some kind of press release and get in front of it. And we can talk later on about this. Where there's the good, the bad, or the ugly, it's getting in front of these things. So you're saying that as a board member and not as a board member, the perception, and more than perception, the practice is things are happening in the administrative offices that really belong in a decision-making with a board, or certainly an informational of, because that's how I saw it, you know, hey, when we put this out, it was going to be for X, we've just finished this, and here's what it's going to cost now.
It's project planning.
Right.
You know,
And if there's a change in the, you know, what do they call it, a work order change because of something,
Right.
then absolutely you should have known about it. So I will work going forward to address that, but it's going to hurt perception.
now I'm all confused though, because if we're supposed to keep decision-making that's not our decisions.
Let me summarize it this way, because I think I know where you're going. Remember I said, one of your norms, one of your expectations is that the administration, superintendent, keeps you informed, gives you the information so you can make intelligent decisions. It appears that there was a missing part to this. Because you okayed a structure and saw the value for it, now you're questioning, did the money for the value match up? That, I would say, is not a failure of the board. I would say that's a failure of the administration in not giving you information, an updated way to pull the plug or make some other recommendation. So, let's go back to a point you were trying to raise when you heard from the field. Hey, what's going on here? You would have come to me and said, hey, what's this all about? I would have then talked to the chair, and then I would have sent something out to everybody. Here's the latest. And Rich would have probably said, I want it on the agenda. Okay, that's how we should work as a high-performing district. Not walking away or putting our heads in the sand, but the only way we're going to get better is if we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'm not going to do everything perfectly, but I sure will try to learn from my mistakes and to get better at my relationships and my understanding of what it is you want me to do to make this a great school system. I'm trying to summarize because I think where your confusion was coming in for that. going back down to the detail
No, it's just,
in a
it is.
3,000-foot view.
It's, yeah, that's what's confusing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, hire your people and trust them
Right.
to, support them in what they wanna do, and how do we know the difference between
You know the
that and
difference.
saying, wait a minute, I don't like this right here,
Right.
and I'm questioning your decision making.
Right.
I mean, if we're not supposed to be doing that, or are we supposed to be doing that?
You're supposed to be doing that, and there, I would just say, as diplomatically as I can, there was a little breakdown here. And I heard it very loud and clear. You didn't have to say too much at the meeting. When I said, Jason, you know, whatever I said, duly noted, yeah, I can just tell you I had a conversation the next day. Oh, what we're going to do and not do in the future. So I'll leave it at that. Okay?
I'm the yellow financial.
Yeah, so that's,
Although for many of the reasons that Rich said, we put is in the growth. It may be mismanaging money that leaves the needs that I see, but I see needs both in programs and in personnel.
were you in development?
I was in development, yeah, shoestring budgets.
Shoestring, so we just
Negative
barely
cash
getting
flow-
enough, yeah. just
Negative
barely
cash
getting
flow,
enough.
no, necessarily, but I think we've been on a default budget for so many years now, we don't dare even bring up, for example, having a gifted and talented program throughout all 3 schools, having language, start at kindergarten, foreign language start at kindergarten, that kind of a program. We don't even start talking about having paraprofessionals back in the classrooms to assist the teachers, because we know we're not gonna get funded for that, and I think those are important things. I consider us working on a shoestring budget,
Okay,
rather than having everything.
because we
that
don't,
we need.
you're saying you don't feel we have the adequate resources, either people or
Well, I think,
In
whether
order-
we have enough money to do those things, I don't know. I don't know if I have a feel for that,
okay,
or if I've been through one budget cycle.
all right.
Could we eliminate, after-school sports and get what we want? I don't know. Would that be my hope? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
don't
do.
know.
I do.
Okay?
Okay.
Is it
That-
being wasted somewhere that we're not seeing, that we could use for important academic supports?
I'm gonna look at an educational budget, so those kind of things should come out. We'll do that. Administrative systems. Don't have to talk much about it.